How do? Welcome back to Edgar TV. Zach Thornton, darts designer, worldwide darts designer, worked for many different brands and a custom darts designer as well. So knows the material, knows the darts inside and out. And I've got one question for you today. It's a question I see a lot. It's a comment I see a lot. Darts is a working man's game. They're taking it away from the people. It's becoming so expensive. But actually, is this greed? Is this inflation of the sport because it's doing well, or is there justifiable reasons?
I think maybe in the past we could maybe said there's a little bit of greed in there, but I think certainly now there is a lot more external factors coming outside the industry that's really affected us. So tungsten prices, the amount of cost to buy the billets is so high, and also things like shipping. If you look back a few years ago, a lot of big brands, they'll ship in big containers. The price of that container, I think, almost tripled. So the cost of it just getting there increased, and now the tungsten is just going crazy. It really has become, yeah, insane.
Tungsten price rising all the time. We know that's a factor. Shipping costs, worldwide costs as well, just think for like the packaging, for the printing. We know that's gone up as well. But in the past, we've talked a lot about even the machine time.
Yeah.
Is that still a big factor?
Machining time usually is the biggest factor for costs of darts. Obviously, the other things exaggerate it, but we're in this world where, if you look back years ago in the catalogues, you all saw ring grip darts. Now, anyone that's releasing just ring grip darts now isn't going to, well, there's so many available on the market. So to compete with the other brands that may be doing more adventurous stuff, you can't just be doing the simple stuff. And with that comes fancy grips, more machining time, different tools, and that drives your costs up.
What about things like this? I mean, this vector dart, it's got, we know tungsten's not black or purple.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's got two different colours in there. Does that ride up the cost?
Yeah, so obviously the coating itself is one, and then to get the silver on that dart specifically, you have to recut it. So once you've coated it, you have to put it back in the machine, cut it again. Then obviously it's got the purple in, that'll be painted probably. They have to obviously do that. So all of those processes add time, and that for the factory, let's say you put how many darts you can make in a day, obviously that changes. And if you're taking up a factory's machines with your dart for ages, they can't be making loads of darts in a day because you're hogging the machines with your own products. So the factory puts more of a cost on that because they can't make as many other products.
So to you, obviously value's different representation now. Value's not, I go to Argos, I get a set for 20 quid. What makes the dart value? Because I know you spent hundreds on darts in the past.
God, yeah.
And what would make you go out and say, even though it's 150 quid, it's worth 150 quid?
Yeah, I mean, I always say value to me is, let's say you have a dart that's ring gripped, that shouldn't be 150 quid unless there's some crazy material or something. What I like to see is a dart.
What would you say that should be? Like a basic run-of-the-mill ring grip dart. What would you say is an ideal, fair price point to the consumer?
Oh, it's so difficult because it depends. Because there's brands that deal with the customer directly, so they don't have the same costs, so they can afford to have cheaper darts. And there's brands that have to sell to the shops; they have to include other costs in. So, if I had to put a figure in my head, I would say the entry level of darts at the moment is probably around the £40 mark, and I think that's only going to get higher.
I was thinking the same, so that's good.
So I think the £40 mark, and that does sound harsh. I mean, you look years ago, I used to have the Red Dragon catalogues that used to have women in it as well. It was crazy.
Years ago, a Freddo was 10p.
Yeah.
What's it now, 35p
You could
for
get
a Freddo?
sort of gold, 95% tungsten darts, £15-20.
I don't think we compare years back because the world's changed in
No, of course,
everything,
that's what I'm saying. I think because people have lived through that time.
I saw someone say a pint at £6 wasn't a bad price. I remember going to Blackpool and paying £2 a pint.
But obviously, you remember the new people coming into the game, this is the first thing they're seeing. They know no different. I think sometimes maybe we're not spoiled, but we've just lived in a different time where we're used to it. It feels like it's been taken away from us. How ridiculous is this? But
so entry level 40 quid.
Yeah.
Where do we put, I'm willing to go spend 3 figures on a set of darts? What has to be in a dart for you? I'm guessing first thing, colour.
It depends really, because if I can see that there's lots of different grips on it, maybe there's lots of machining, if there's 2 coatings or 3 different colours, I I could see as a designer that they've had to put it in, read it. I can see where the cost is coming from. What I don't like is when I can't see where the cost is coming from. And I think it's up to some brands to show that with their products. And some do it better than others. And it's all about when the price is increasing these days, can the brands follow it by making the darts look like they're worth the price that they've put on the box?
Final question.
Yeah.
I've saw a few TikToks about this recently where people have discussed this topic, and they've suggested reducing the surroundings, shall we say. Change the packaging, can we reduce, get rid of flights and stems, and just go barrels only? How important to you is it that you get the flights and the stems included? Because if we look at some of the darts in the emissions range, when we look at things like the lava dart, that looks incredible. When you've got the flight, the stem, everything works together. But a lot of people are suggesting at the moment that actually when they get it, they throw that away anyway.
No, I think people, the reason I think brands do that is because if you didn't have it and the price was £40, you'd feel a bit hard done by, in my opinion. And if you're a new player and you can't just take them out the box and have your flights of that, you're alienating that audience. You want the new player, their first dart to be mission, for example. And if they don't have the flights and stems, well, they're either going somewhere else or, you know, they're using what they got at home. You want to persuade them to use your stuff.
So with that question, I'm going to try and get a little bit of an answer to. So people suggesting that actually by removing the flights and stems, we're going to bring the cost down. Now, what they're looking at is they're looking at like a bag of flights is £1, a set of stems £1. They think they're going to take £2 off the price of the retail of the whole dart. But when you're mass producing flights and stems, the cost actually to the... What would they actually save if, let's say, you went, right, we're going to take a dart and we're just going to get the barrel. You're not going to get the flights and stems, you get the barrel and the point. What realistically is going to be the saving to the company? I'm guessing pennies.
I've had quotes for packaging, I've had quotes for flights and stems. Realistically, it's not going to be a lot. Let's say, depending on the pack. Obviously, this is an extreme example.
Yes.
Because you've got multiple sets of the moulded flights.
We'll go with
something
this.
normal. I mean, you're talking, if anything, maybe not even making £2. Especially with the big brands that are ordering, you know, potentially thousands of boxes. The price of that, sometimes you're talking maybe a very small amount, especially with flights and stems.
See, I was thinking we're potentially talking between like 10 and 20 pence, like coming off.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a big brand, you'll have probably bought loads and loads of the flights and the shafts that go into other darts as well. So the price per set of flights is going to be even smaller anyway. So for me, rather than saying we could save money by not having it, I would say how much more value is that added to my whole package by having them there?
Yeah.
If I had paid £50 for a set of darts and it didn't come with it, yes, you could say we saved £2, but then I'm like, well, I've got to buy them separately anyway.
So I've got some questions for you guys off the back of what you've heard so far. What to you is an entry-level price set of a darts? What would you be willing to pay on a set of darts? But what would make you pay that little bit extra? What would make you go outside of your comfort zone? If your comfort zone is £70 to £90, what would make you go, I'm going to go buy that set of darts, it's 150 quid, it's a considered purchase, but I've considered it, and that's what I'm going to go with? Let me know in the comments section. Catch you soon.